Athens. March 22, 1976. Elvis was singing "Can't Help Falling in Love" when he saw a little girl in the front row crying so hard she couldn't stop. As security moved to take away what they saw as a troublesome kid, Elvis stopped the show and walked to the edge of the stage. What he learned about Rebecca Martinez, who was 8 years old, would lead to the saddest duet in rock and roll history. This story tells about the night Elvis Presley showed that great artists do more than just entertain. They also heal. The song is about a celebrity who realized that one person in the crowd needs more than just a song sometimes. They need to be loved, seen, and heard. You should subscribe to Elvis Presley Legacy Stories because these are the times when real kindness is shown. Tell someone this story to help them remember that there is always someone who cares enough to see their pain, even when things look the worst. The Fox Theater in Atlanta was packed with 4,600 screaming fans on March 22, 1976. They were all there to see the king of rock and roll play in one of the South's most luxurious venues. The Fancy Theater, with its ornate Middle Eastern architecture and great sound, was a cozy place that was very different from Elvis's normal huge arena shows. From the time Elvis walked on stage, tonight felt different. As he started with C.C. Ryder, his white outfit caught the lights in the theater. The crowd went crazy with excitement, reacting to every move, note, and smile. Elvis was in great shape. His singing was powerful, and he commanded the attention of everyone in the beautiful theater. Things in the front row caught his attention as he moved into the lighter part of his set and got ready to sing "Can't Help Falling in Love." A little girl who couldn't have been more than 8 years old was sitting in seat A12. As everyone else sang and cheered, she broke down in tears. Not the happy tears of a fan who was too excited, but deep, broken sobs that shook her tiny body. Her mother, A. But Elvis's eyes kept wandering as he played the first few notes of "Can't Help Falling in Love." Back to the child who was crying as he sang the well-known words. He could see security guards moving toward the girl. It was clear that they thought she was a problem that needed to be fixed. At that moment, Elvis made a choice that would make an ordinary performance into something truly amazing. During the verse, he stopped singing and put up his hand to tell the band to stop. The theater went quiet, leaving the 4,600 people inside to wonder what was going on. Elvis walked all the way to the edge of the stage and spoke softly into the microphone. Elvis said, "Hold on there, folks," and his southern drawl was stronger than usual. "I saw a little girl down here who looks like she's having a hard time. That can't happen, can it?" The spotlight fell on the girl, and the whole room could see her teary face and how she clung to her mother. The child didn't feel bad about all the attention. Instead, she looked up at Elvis with eyes so full of pain that it made him gasp. Elvis asked her, "What's your name, sweetheart?" as he got down on his knees at the edge of the stage. The little girl's mother encouraged her to speak, and in a voice barely audible, even with the feat's perfect acoustics, she whispered, "Rebecca Martinez." Elvis said again and again, "Rebecca Martinez," and his voice was warm. What a lovely name for a lovely girl. "Becky, could you tell me why you're so sad tonight?" What happened next shocked everyone in the room. Rebecca began to talk through her tears, and her story was told in a way that kept everyone in the theater glued to their seats. "My dad was supposed to bring me to see you," Rebecca said. As Elvis listened carefully, her voice got a little stronger. "For my birthday, he said he would take me to your show with him. But he had to go to heaven last week, so my mom brought me instead because she said, Daddy would want me to still hear you sing." "Elvie, I'm really sorry about your dad. That must be very painful." Rebecca agreed, and new tears started to fall from her face. "I really miss him. When I couldn't sleep, he would sing your songs to me. Our favorite song was Love Me Tender. It was so quiet in the theater that you could hear a pin drop. Everyone was glued to the screen as the king of rock and roll talked to an 8-year-old boy who was sad. Elvis turned around and looked back at his band before looking at the crowd. He then did something that was completely inappropriate and unprofessional. "Rebecca," Elvis asked, "would you be brave for me and come up here on stage with me to sing Love Me Tender? We can sing it for your daddy together." The offer was so unexpected and kind that everyone in the crowd gasped. Tiffany looked at Elvis as if she couldn't believe what she was hearing. She asked, "You want me to sing with you?" Elvis responded, "Darling, it would be an honor to sing with you." "Do you not think that would make your dad happy?" Rebecca asked her mother, who was crying just as hard as her daughter but was giving her a supportive nod. She said in a whisper, "Go ahead, Mika. This is great for Dad." Rebecca was helped by security to get to the stage, and Elvis picked her up and put her gently next to him. She looked very small next to him. She was wearing a simple yellow dress and holding a small toy elephant that Elvis later found out was a gift from her father. "This is my friend Rebecca," Elvis told the packed crowd. "Tonight, she's going to help me sing a very important song. Let's be very quiet and love her." Elvis sat down at the piano and pulled Rebecca close so she could get to the mic. Something magical started to happen in that theater as he played the first chords of Love Me Tender. Elvis's deep baritone voice joined Rebecca's small, sweet voice in a duet that broke down all the barriers between performer and audience, adult and kid, superstar and regular person. All the love she had for her dad, all the pain of losing him, and all the hope that he could hear her singing their special song were in her voice. "No matter how much you love me, don't let go." Everyone in the house was crying when they sang together. Elvis's voice, which is generally strong, changed into something soft and encouraging, which let Rebecca's smaller voice shine through. Elvis could tell that the little girl was starting to feel better as they sang. Her tears were still falling, but they were no longer tears of sadness. Instead, they were tears of healing. There were thousands of people around her, but the song they had shared brought her a moment of connection with her late father. The crowd was completely enthralled. Strong men were crying out loud. They held their kids closer to their hearts. In that hall, everyone knew they were seeing something holy. It wasn't a show, it was a healing rite. A time when music did what it was meant to do. The applause at the end of the song was unlike anything Elvis had ever heard. Not the loud cheers of fans who were really excited, but the quiet, respectful praise of people who were moved to their core. Rebecca was still not sure where she was or what had just happened as she looked out at the crowd. Elvis wasn't done, though. He had one more present for this brave girl. "Take off that silk scarf around your neck, Rebecca," he said, taking it off. "This is one of my favorite items, and fans fight over it at every show. I want you to have it not because you're sad, but because you're brave. Sharing your heart with so many people takes strength. Remember that your dad would be so proud of how strong you are." He wrapped the scarf around her little shoulders, and Rebecca held on to it like it was a gift. She said in a low voice, "Thank you, Mr. Elvis." After that, she stood on her toes and kissed him on the cheek, which made everyone in the room cry. Elvis walked Rebecca back to her place and made sure she was happy before going back to the stage. But in those few minutes, the performance would never be the same again. After that, every song Elvis sang seemed to have more weight, more meaning, and a stronger link to the human experience. While he was singing his last song, "Can't Help Falling in Love," which Rebecca had stopped to cry during. As he sang, Elvis looked right at her. This time, she wasn't sad. She was happy, wearing his scarf as a cape, and singing along with the song. Elvis did something else that had never been done before after the show. He asked Rebecca and her mother, Maria Martinez, to meet him backstage for a private talk. What happened in Elvis's dressing room that night was mostly kept secret, but people who were there said he talked to Rebecca for almost an hour about her father, loss, and how music could help heal even the deepest scars. Elvis found out that Rebecca's dad, Carlos Martinez, came from a working-class background and had saved money for months to surprise his daughter with tickets to the Elvis show for her birthday. He died in a work accident just 1 week before the show. He left behind a wife and 3 kids, with Rebecca being the youngest. The talk behind the scenes showed even more heartbreaking information. Carlos had been working 2 shifts at a building site in downtown Atlanta to save money for both the concert tickets and Rebecca's birthday party, which was coming up soon. He had planned to make her birthday the best she'd ever had, with an Elvis-themed party that would have included decorations, a person,